The first thing will you think of when you hear about North Korea is this person, Kim Jong Un, the leader of North Korea. But how this person turned North Korea into a hell on earth? First, North Korea is a country located on Asian continent next to South Korea. Yeah, South Korea, the home of K-pop and Samsung. Imagine that North and South Korea were a one country until 1945 and the separation of the two Koreas. The north part was led by the Soviets and the south part was led by the United States, and of course, there have always been wars and disputes between them. The Soviets in North Korea implemented communist rule. And if you don't know the meaning of communism, this rule arose in Russia at the beginning of 20th century. And other countries beside Russia joined to this rule until they formed the Soviet Union under the communist rule. And there's other communist countries outside the Soviet Union like China, for example. The communist rule meaning is only one group that rule, and of course it's the communist group, and no one can change this ruling. This means there's no elections or democracy, no way of course. You can say it's very close to the dictator rule. North Korea's first leader was Kim Il-sung. This person, of course, was following the communist thought, but it empowered the individual family rule. This means that only this family will rule North Korea, the Kim family. That means when I die, my son will come. And when my son dies, my grandson will come. And like this, there is no way, and anyone who objects or even speaks, he will, after he becomes the leader, he went crazy, He was paranoid and arrogant, and he was just saying, oh man, I can rule all these people. And one day, Kim was bored and thinking, it's true that I rule all of North Korea, but it's not enough, So he decided to occupy South Korea, and Korea will return as a one country, and I will be the leader of this country. But before he attacked South Korea, he should to consulted China, and China agreed and supported North Korea in this war. In 1950, Kim Il-sung prepared his army and headed to South Korea. But who is behind South Korea? The United States. And yeah, the war began and the war was very strong. The both sides were supported by strong countries, China in the north and America in the south, and 5 million people died in this war, and most of them were civilians. North and South Korea were completely destroyed. Both countries went bankrupt and the situation was miserable. After 3 years of war, in 1953, the both sides became tired and a truce was signed between them. Immediately after Kim Il-sung's death, his son Kim Jong Il came. This man was really strict and did not like the mistakes at all. Even if any soldier commits a simple mistake, the punishment will be very severe. This means if he is in a good mood, you will receive a military punishment like imprisonment. But if he is in a bad mood and does not sleep well, rest in peace, bro. One day, Kim Jong-il was in Japan to improve relations between the two countries. And there was a maid hosting Kim Jong-il and he liked this girl very much. You know what? You will be my wife. And yeah, they really got married and had a son named Kim Jong Un. And yeah, this is the person who is the most dangerous head of a state in the world. From the beginning, his father felt that this boy will be the next leader. His father loved him very much and Kim was getting what he wanted. He was living in a palace and he had his own video games and cinema. And the video games at that time were not widespread as today. It was only for the rich people. Even when Kim Jong Un was 6 years old, his father designed a custom military uniform for him. He was taking his son with him to the meetings and military shows. This means that he prepared his 6 years old son to rule North Korea after his death. So Kim Jong Un was ready from a young age. Even his father prevents him from leaving the house and meet the public. And this was to teach him vanity and narcissism and self-love. He was telling him, why you meet these normal people and make friends with them and you will become their leader. But in 1993, the Cold War happened between the America and the Soviet Union. And in the end, the Soviet Union fell. This means that the largest communist country has fallen. And the United States was trying to bring down any country affiliated the communist system. When the North Korean leader heard the news of the fall of the Soviet Union, which is the first supporter for the all communist countries, and North Korea was one of these countries, of course, Kim Jong-il think about how to protect Korea and how to stop America, and he said, I found it. I will make a nuclear weapons. And shortly after this decision, a very strong flood happened in North Korea. People were starved and thousands of people died. And the economic situation was very bad, but Kim Jong-il doesn't really care about these people, and he continued to make nuclear weapons. After Kim Jong-un became a teenager, his father sent him to study in Switzerland with a false identity. And this was to no one know that he was the son of the North Korean leader. And then Kim Jong-un returned to North Korea and graduated from the military college. And in 2011, Kim Jong-il died from a heart attack and Kim Jong-un became the new leader of North Korea. And from here, a new chapter began in North Korea. Kim Jong-un was a little lenient, he interphones for the people and televisions, but there's no communication with the outside world. That means there's have only their own Korean application and their own channels. There is no Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, and if you decide to become a human being and see the outside world and just watch a video on YouTube, you will be dead. In 2015, there was a huge military show and the Minister of Defense fell asleep a little while in this show. But this sleep will be the last in his life because Kim Jong-un executed this man because he slept on the show and not respecting the leader. He even imposes a specific haircuts for the people. So if you are in North Korea, please don't say to the barber, I want a Drake hairstyle, because you're gonna dead. You just have to do the haircut that Kim Jong-un imposes on you. Even Kim Jong-un executed his uncle for treason. But this is not the strange thing. The strange it's the way of executing, as he fired 120 dogs that starved for 3 days at him. This thing is not a fantasy scene from a movie. This thing is really happened, and this is a little bit about what's happening in North Korea. And that's it. If you're still here, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram, okay? And see you in the next video. Goodbye.